Hey guys, my name is Teyana.
I'm Brooke.
Yay! And this is our Mexico City Water Crisis Visual Communication and Architecture Collaborative Project. And this is our final presentation for the Fall 23 course. And then these are the rest of the people from our assignment from Mexico. So for week one, for our assignment, we just introduce ourselves to each other over, it was either Google Meets or Microsoft Teams, but on the left side, you see a picture of all of us talking, and it was really fun to get to learn about all of our different cultures and how our schools are different. And I remember talking about how we live at home and how different it is from each other. And so that's mostly what we did at the beginning. And then we talked about where we're gonna have our building and logo, what country that we'll be using it in, and cities. And so that was what we did for the first week. And then this is our mission and vision. What is the mission and vision of the foundation? The mission of the foundation is to find ways to aid Mexico City with their water crisis. We want to create a building space and logo that reflect our positive goals in increasing the availability of clean water. The targeted issue is the mismanagement and contamination of the current water system. What issue will it target, and what outcomes does it hope to achieve? Mexico City has many environmental ideas that would work if they were implemented in a better way. For example, the rainwater during May through October is plentiful, but rainwater mixes with waste and sewage so that water cannot be used. There needs to be better separation of clean and dirty water. 40% of Mexico City's clean water is lost to leaks, so it would be a great benefit if the system that transported the water was made differently to keep the water from leaking. Okay, our other mission and vision slide. What will success look like? How will the foundation measure impact and progress on the issue? Success will look like people in Mexico City being able to use clean water. People having an abundance of places where the water they are drinking and are using clean water is accessible. The decline of the mortality rate because of the amount of unclean water being decreased. Dirty water and bad sanitation causes people to get sick, which can in turn be fatal. Yes. Oh, is
All
this
right.
me?
I think
Oh,
this
was that
one's
the
me.
pause period?
So resources and logistics. Um, what resources are needed to start and sustain the foundation? How will it obtain funding, staffing, and community support? So the foundation will obtain funding by donations from more wealthier countries, and we're also trying to get money from the government in other countries to help our foundation. And staffing can be obtained through volunteer work, so gathering people from different parts of Mexico or other places in the world to help come Mexico City. And also community support, so through updating social media and putting up posters or maybe holding marches or informal meetings or informative meetings so that people can talk about and discuss their own personal experiences with their water safety and the water in Mexico City. And the execution, how will the foundation execute its strategy? What programs, services, and initiatives will it implement to drive change? So our foundation will execute its strategy by targeting places in Mexico City that allocate water and fixing them to distribute clean water instead of dirty water. We want to implement a pollution ban that can ban the spread of trash around the city. So trash bans and fines encourage people not to dispose of waste in the water or on the ground. And so that will be an incentive for them to not litter and to keep the water clean. Also, the environmental budget is really minimal, so raising money and asking for help from neighboring countries with a better financial status would be very beneficial. So, for example, like the US is a neighboring country of Mexico, so they are wealthier and can provide more support. And also allocating more money to the environment and water conservation, more of an impact would be made, and it would help more problems. And below it just shows the all of the action that Mexico has taken to help the environment, and its rating is critically insufficient, and that's according to like climateaction.org. So if they put more money into that, then they would be able to help the environment more and also keep the water clean for Mexico City.
And this is about our foundation building. How can the foundation benefit from the building? The building designed by our peers in Mexico gives our project a space to be discussed and planned, a space for people to sit and get together in one room and talk about why and how we can help Mexico City obtain a better water system. It's good for there to be a building to discuss these issues because it can bring people together to actually commit their time and work to the project. Talking over the phone and through Zoom are also great alternatives to converse about change, but seeing people in person is more encouraging. It creates an environment to construct ideas and items needed for the Clean Water Project. The building will be a place where objects and items can be held. If smaller items are needed to be built and used, they can be constructed here. Shipments needed for our building could also be mailed here, creating a space to account for all of our objects and items. For our goals and impact, how will the foundation promote innovation and sustainability over the long term on this issue? With the foundation of our water crisis project, different environmental problems in Mexico could be improved as well. After people see the success of the first project, it can inspire others to want to do the same with other issues like deforestation and air pollution. We would hope for our goal to branch out to other sustainable goals in Mexico and the rest of the surrounding countries to spread to different parts of the world, which would of course take lots of time. Some of our goals are decreasing the mortality rate that has been established from people consuming unsafe water, decreasing the amount of bacteria, trash, and pesticide in the water, increasing the amount of clean water available for the citizens in Mexico City, getting more people to be employed. The unemployment rate right now is 4.37%, which is 430,000 people who do not have jobs. Our building and project could provide jobs for those who don't have one. Inspiring other sustainable goals to get support.
So for weeks 2 and 3, we started to research and brainstorm ideas for our logo for the foundation. And we started with making the mission statement. And so our mission statement, our mission of the foundation is to find ways to aid Mexico City with their water crisis. We want to create a building and a logo that reflects our positive goals in increasing the availability of clean water. And our targeted issue is the mismanagement and contamination of the current water system. So we started with making just like a brainstorm mind map and brainstorming different words or ideas that come up when we think of clean water and water sanitation. And then we started to brainstorm maybe what a logo would look like. So we used a lot of hands and also water droplets so that we could explain like that we wanted to help the citizens of Mexico City. So then we ended up narrowing it down to like either a wave with a hand at the bottom, like catching the wave, but then we figured that would be pretty hard to animate. So we decided with a simpler design, which is the two hands coming together and like a fountain or drops of water sprouting out of it. And then, so after coming up with that and then also getting feedback from our peers, we decided to take that to Illustrator. And you can see at the bottom, our first iteration, we had the water coming from the hands sprouting out like a fountain. But after getting critiques from it, we decided to change it because the symmetry didn't look as good. And so we wanted it to be more dynamic and flow like water. So we made it more curved, and also we made the arms shorter so that it was more like of a square space, and so that it would just look better like on the building if we like put that on the side of our foundation building, or if we put it in a website, it would just look better and more professional.
And then we started making our storyboard for our animation. And so our final animation didn't take as much from the storyboard as we had hoped to, but like things changed and a lot about our project changed, so that's okay. But to explain what was happening, we started out with a water drop that went to a tiny puddle, then it went to medium-sized puddle, then it went really big, and then back to medium, back to tiny, back to the water droplet, and then it would have gotten flat. And that we used a little bit of components from that, but we used a lot more components from page 2 of our storyboard. So the water started forming into the shape of two hands, which you can see in 10, 11, and 12. And then it made the hands, and then the hands eventually went like this, and the water started coming up. And so that's what our animation did eventually look like. And we also changed colors and ended up moving the water droplets and making them different sizes. And this is what our final animation looked like.
Yes.
Yes. And then we had it changed to the red and green to reflect the colors of Mexico City. And I'll replay it again in full speed. At least I'll try to. Wait. No, stop. Okay. Ah. Yes.
Yes.
No. Oh, no. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, so the reflection that I had, I really enjoyed being able to work with our group members, and it was really cool. I feel like the concept of it was really cool because it has relevance to like current events and everything that's happening in the world, and I think that that's really important, especially being able to create a logo and a brainstorm or create a logo for that because it is definitely something that um, I could do in the future as a graphic designer. And also just being able to work with people from a different country is exciting because we were able to like hear about their experiences and like what it's like going to college there. Um, it was difficult because there was a lot of distance, and there was also a 2 hour time difference. And so sometimes it was difficult to communicate effectively with our group members, but we still made the most of it.
And then this was my reflection. When first hearing about this project, I was so excited to create a business that would help people and the environment. It was so interesting to be able to chat with someone from another country over Microsoft Teams, and I had never had an experience like it before. Meeting our peers from Mexico was fun, and I enjoyed learning about their lives and culture. Working on the logo with Brooke was also fun. We got to collaborate on different ideas, and then just like how Brooke said, this was a really fun experience, but it was really difficult to be able to collaborate because of the time difference and just meeting together, even if we didn't have a time difference, because like we both work, we all have classes, so it's sometimes hard to do work outside of class together because people have different schedules. But all in all, it was a good experience. It was just the timing and like working together was a difficult part. But that's it. Yay. Thank you.
Thank you.